What's up, guys? This is Maxwell Media Inc. I'm your host, Sir Maxwell, and today we're going to be getting into my 8 hopes for RWBY Volume 8. Now, RWBY Volume 8 is like 2 weeks away at this point, and frankly, we just need to have some conversations before RWBY Volume 8 comes out, clear some things up, clarify a couple of things. But first thing is first, let's talk about my hopes and predictions for RWBY Volume 8. Let's start with Agency with Salem. Now, Salem was introduced at the end of Volume 3, and Homegirl is Volume 8. And I just feel like Salem doesn't even know who White Spike and Yang are. Like, who is she? Does she even go here? Like, who are White Spike and Yang? And I mean, like, Team RWBY, they're supposed to be the heroes. They're supposed to be the main characters. We're supposed to, like, these are the main characters. So, like, the villain should give a fuck about them, and they should give a fuck about the villain. Like, them as a team, like, they should, care. They should care. So it's weird to me that, like, they haven't had a clash or a confrontation yet, and I feel like this confrontation should be head on, the girls taking on Salem herself. And I'm not saying that they're gonna win or beat her, but they need to at least, like, meet her and have some battle or blow with her. They just need to. They need to have agency in the plot. They need to be at the forefront. Don't let Oscar do it. Oscar Oscar should be there, but, like, don't let nobody else do it for them. Team Junior, don't let Team Junior do it for them. Don't let Crow do it for them. Don't let the ASAPs do it. Don't let Ironwood do it. It needs to be Team RWBY versus Salem, because that's just how it has to be. It's just how it has to be. You can't say that they're the main characters if they're not actively engaging in the plot and having agency. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. So let's go on to my next hope that I want. I also want all of the villains there. In my headcanon, I think that Salem brought her entire castle mansion with Hazel, Emerald, and Mercury. So I want literally all of the villains that there are that with Salem. I want all of Team Salem. I want all of Team Witch and Neo and all of them. I want them all there. I want them all there to cause chaos and fuck shit up for the people. You know what I mean? Because we haven't had a battle royale, a big battle royale between all the heroes and the villains. We just have not had that. And, like Salem said, she was here to set. They were there to set the stage. The stage is set. Let's fight. Let's go. All of the villains need to be participating in this for it to feel grand and magical and powerful and magnificent and amazing. I just need all of the villains there. I need a clash. I need Team Witch fighting together. I need all of that. And with a Merc, I need it. I really need it. And that leads into my third hope for RWBY Volume 8. I want lots of fights, and obviously we all want lots of fights, but I feel like this is a battle royale. I need action. I think I need. I'm gonna say it. I feel like I need some action every episode, pretty much every episode. And if not every episode, like, maybe I can miss 1 or 2 episodes, but, like, I need a lot of action. I need it. And I feel like I'm gonna get it. I feel like I'm gonna get lots of action. I don't think I'm gonna get, like, these amazing, Watts versus Ironwood type fights every episode. But we do need lots of fights. We need lots and lots of fights. We just need it. It's unacceptable it's unacceptable otherwise, because it's just like, this is a big volume, man. Salem is here, herself attacking. Like, we need lots of action. This should be like a fight on all fronts. It should be like, we're fighting fucking hold on, let me get my notes. It should be like we're fighting fucking, Salem and Tyrion and Hazel and Watts and Emerald and Mercury, and then Neo, and fighting the Aesops and fighting Ironwood and fighting Winter. Like, it should be a fight on all fronts. Team RWBY should be getting it from the front end and from the back end. Like, fights. And speaking of fights, I want to get into some certain fights I want to see. I want to see Neo versus Yang again, and I want to see Neo and RWBY versus Yang, because we've never just had, like, a RWBY and Yang fight. We just haven't had that. We got teased with that in Volume 5, but we didn't really get to see the fight. So I really love a Neo and Yang and RWBY fight. Um, I would also like a Team Ruby and Cinder fight because, like I was saying earlier with Salem, Cinder has literally been here since the first episode. She's been a villain since the first episode, and she's never even been the all of Team Ruby and Cinder. They've never just been in a room together and spoken and battled. That just hasn't happened. You know, like a Team Ruby fight, Team Ruby and Cinder. Honestly, girl, that should have happened in season 2 or 3. Or at least 5. You know what I mean? Like again, don't have another adult character come and save the day. Don't have Crow fight Cinder. Don't have Winter fight Cinder. Don't, again, well, actually, Winter fought Cinder already. Don't have Penny fight Cinder. Don't do it. I don't want that. No. I pass. They need to fight Cinder. They need to take her on head on. These girls need to have agency in the plot, and they need to be fighting the villains who matter, not the Aesops. I, I'm just gonna say it. I don't think Team Ruby should have, even though I love the fight, I don't think Team Ruby should have fought the Aesops. I think that Team Junior should have fought the Aesops. I think that fucking Team Junior should have been like, oh, we'll fight the Aesops. And Oscar could have been there and been like, oh, we'll fight the Aesops. And you go and you fight, and then you fight Neo or whatever. I think that's what should have happened, but whatever. So yeah, those are just some fights that I wanted to see. I also want to see, who, I want to see Ironwood versus Crow. I think that'd be very interesting. The Aesops. I don't really give a fuck about the Aesops. If I'm gonna be frank, I don't really care about them. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I like the Happy Huntresses more than I like the Aesops. They're just kind of like nothing characters. They're just kind of like robots. I don't really give a fuck about them. So I have no hopes or predictions for the Aesops. Fucking not even Marrow. Just to put the knife in with the Aesops. I don't even like Marrow, so that's just that. Let's move on to my fourth hope for this show. For volume 8. Team Stark backstory. Now, at this point, RWBY has like 92 or 94 episodes, I think. So I think episode 8 of volume 8 will be the 100th episode of RWBY. That's a big deal. Shows normally go all out for the 100th episode. So I think we're either going to have like a big epic fight moment, or we're going to have a callback, or you're going to use like this will be the day. But actually, what I think that they should do, and what they're going to do, is I think they're going to finally give us a Team Stark backstory for that 100th episode of RWBY. And that is going to be very exciting. It's going to be very exciting, and I would really love to see like what happened, and maybe that'll be the last Jin vision, or maybe it'll just be like a straight pure flashback. Who knows? I don't know, but you know, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with that. And that leads into my fifth prediction. My fifth prediction is that I want Raven and Ty to show up. I think it's time. I think it's time for Raven and Ty to come back into the narrative. I think that, especially with the Team Stark backstory in my hopes and predictions, I think it's time for Ty and Raven to come back, because I think some characters are gonna die. I think Crow kind of has some death flags. I think he might die. So I just think we just need to get that closure of the rest of Team Stark together. And also, I just find it weird that like his daughters or like his babies are fighting for their lives, and he's over there like watering a fucking flower bed. Like, bitch, like what the fuck are you doing? Like, be a dad, like show up. Like show up. And yeah, so I don't know. Raven and Ty, it's time for them to come back in the narrative. I don't know. And some people are being really salty about it on Twitter and saying, well, Yang lied about Raven being the Spring Maiden. Well, if that's true, let's bring that back in. Let's bring that into the circle. Let's see Raven come back and fucking be involved in the plot, and maybe make up with Yang. Because really, like, let's be frank, Yang had nothing to do in Volume 7. Really, she really Blake and Yang didn't really do anything. I kind of want Yang's mom to come back into the picture, and, they have some sort of interaction and sort of thing going on. Yeah, so I don't know. Blake is just like, she's the main character. She needs to be like, they all need to be worried about this fight with Salem. Like again, I don't think they all need individual like little subplots, but I definitely feel like as Team RWBY, they need to be fucking Team RWBY versus Salem. But yeah, I want Raven and Ty to come back. Another thing, actually, I just mentioned with Blake and Yang. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the sixth. Yeah, this is like the wait. I'm sorry. I have my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, this is the sixth thing. Yeah. So I really want bees. I'm just like I'm really fed up with the representation in the show. Either like do it, give us LGBT rep, have them be a couple, have them kiss, have them talk about it at least, or shut the fuck up and stop doing it and stop asking for like these little cookie moments. Stop asking to be stand. Like I'm not gonna stand you on Twitter. I'm literally if they bat their eyes at each other and I see on Twitter Bumblebee Nation, how we feel it. I'm blocking. I'm gonna block you. And nothing personal, but it's just like I'm sick of it. Like I'm sick of the fake queer baiting type of thing where it's like they're gonna dangle a carrot in front of our face, make it really ambiguous. It's like no, like nut up, fucking either do it or don't do it. But stop teasing me, stop playing around. Like literally, I in my a year ago in my Bumblebee my truth about Bumblebee video, which I'll link that in the cards. I said that I was scared to get invested in Bumblebee because I felt like I might get queer baited, and I feel like I might be fucking right. So and I said like Volume 8. I was generous. I said either Volume 8 or Volume 9. If they don't fucking do it, I'm for queer baited. So Volume 8 passed. They didn't do it. Volume 9. If they don't do it, I will officially call it a queer bait. Like it'll be a queer bait. Like point blank period. So yeah, that's the thing. And I want them to either do Bumblebee or shut the fuck up. Just period. That moves on to the seventh thing. The seventh thing that I want from the show, from my hopes. Number seven, I want the Mercury stuff. I want them to come back into the narrative, and I want them to get a resolution with Cinder. I want them to have a little reconciliation, or I want them to fucking kill her. I don't know what they. But I need something with Ember and Mercury. I need them back in the plot, and I also want a real, actual confrontation about what they did to Ruby and Juniper. They pretended to be their fucking friends, and it's like we got the Cinder confrontation, I guess, but we never really got like the Emerald and Mercury confrontation of like you fucking lied to us. We thought you were our fucking friends. Like Ruby trusted you. Like she blushed over you, girl. Like what the fuck? So I really want a confrontation with Emerald and Mercury and Cinder, and then also Emerald and Mercury and Team Ruby, and see how that plays out. And then I guess for the eighth thing, actually, before I get into the eighth thing, I want to give some honorable mentions. So some honorable mentions. Cinder, I want her to get a personality. I want her to get a backstory. I want to see what's going on with Cinder. I want to like Cinder. I want to fear Cinder again. And right now, she's just kind of a joke and a laughing stock. And I'm sorry to Cinder stands, but like, is what it is. I also want some Team Funky, just in the battle. They don't need to like be important, but like I want them to be around and like doing something. I at least want to see them like helping out exactly with Mantle or just doing something like that. I like Team Funky. Foot Cold is problematic, but it's whatever. And also Nora's semblance. I think it's time for Nora's semblance to evolve. My little reaction to the When We Mate trailer, I kind of was like, Nora, what are you doing? And I just thought she was gonna like knock on the door. But I feel like Nora's semblance is basically Yang's semblance, but like but it only works with electricity. Cause Yang gets like stronger from damage in general, so that could be lightning or fire or whatever, or hits or punches or whatever. But fucking Nora, it's just kind of like only lightning. That just seems like a very specific, and it seems like a very like only this one circumstance could do it. And outside of like dust, like being struck by lightning is very fucking rare. So it's like when does this ever really come into play anyway? Other than like you using lightning dust to shock yourself, which like she doesn't like. Let's be frank, she doesn't do that much. But like hypothetically, Yang could just shock herself too and fucking be as strong as Nora. So I just feel like they should not retcon it, but they in volume 5 they said semblances can evolve and change. So like I think that maybe her semblance should evolve and change in this volume because she's evolved and changed. And she's like really passionate about this mantle thing. So maybe her semblance evolves into like lightning manipulation, or maybe she can shoot lightning out of her hands. I feel like that would be very useful. Also, Penny, last honorable mention, Penny. I want Penny to be a real girl in terms of being flesh and bone. And let me be frank. She's already a real girl I don't think she needed maiden powers to confirm that she was already a real girl because Ruby already did that for her in Volume 2. That was a Volume 2 arc. Volume 7 arc was her grappling with human emotions and, learning how to conflict with them and learning how to do the right thing. You know what I mean? So, that was Penny's arc in Volume 7. It's not about being a real girl. She didn't need ancient maiden powers to do that. But what I don't like, I don't know, something doesn't sit well with me about like her being a robot and essentially like living forever. I know that's a good thing because Penny is a good person, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea that like nobody could hold on to the maiden powers forever, but her still being a robot means that she could hang on to those powers forever. So I want, and it makes me just feel like, well, she can just be rebuilt. And people go, well, no, because he doesn't have enough aura left. I think Pietro, honestly, let's be frank, Pietro would probably kill himself to like fucking bring Penny back to life. Like, let's be real. So he could probably bring her back again. And like, and since someone can use aura to just reboot her, they could just use somebody else's aura. Like, they can bring her back as many times as she wants if she's still a robot. So I just want her to be a flesh and blood human. So the risk of her die, I don't want her to die, but like, the risk of her dying is still a thing and it's still possible. I don't want this immortal plot armor thing on Penny because it just makes me like not fear for her life as much, and I like to fucking be scared. I don't know, but yeah, that's my thing with Penny. Let's get on to the final number 8, the sneeze. I mean, it kind of seems like wrong time, wrong place, because like we're literally under attack and the world is ending. But like, I want a little resolution with like the Schnees and like Whitley and Weiss and Winter, and is Winter gonna fight Weiss, and like what's gonna happen with the Schnee family? Because it's Jacques. I saw Jacques getting like little police brutality. He kind of deserved it. So yeah, I don't know. Just the Schnee family, like either making up or breaking up. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but I'm interested to see it. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. So yeah, that was pretty much all I really had to say about my hopes for Volume 7. I mean, my hopes for Volume 8. I'm sorry. Those are my 8 hopes for Volume 8 plus a few honorable mentions. If you have any hopes for Volume 8 that you would like to share with me, put that in the comments below and we can discuss and we can have a dialogue and we can do that shit. Anyway, this has been Maxwell Media Inc. I'm your host, Sir Maxwell. May the power protect you. Bye.